are our governments engaging in covert actions that is causing undue harm to its citizens? Our Mayor, Olivia Chow, might be sending love notes to Champagne Poppy about how he's making Toronto popular. But is Toronto going to want to be known to be popular for its gang stalking programs? What if every day of your life you had to spend it looking over your shoulder? That's what today's news story is all about. Has the City of Toronto engaged in covert illegal activities that is watching citizens 24/7 everywhere you go? From your community neighborhood to your workplace to public spaces, there's always someone there watching you. In this story, I introduce to you an experience that took place at the Toronto Public Library. The matter was brought forward to the City of Toronto in 2024 at their Housing Committee hearing in regards to a term called gang stalking. Of a term that CBC and even the Globe and Mail have put forward. The term is called gang stalking. It's a covert operation. Now, gang stalking is a program that the government and corporations are seeking to turn a blind eye to, including the psychiatrists who label the term of people experiencing or speaking about gang stalking as delusional. I want you to watch the following video that took place when I was at the Toronto Public Library using a public space. You will see a person in the background continuously within my eye line. This is a uniformed person contracted by the City of Toronto and other levels of government. Our government are contracting third-party contractors to surveil citizens, whether these surveillors are in uniform or in plain clothing. They could be following you in the grocery store, they could be following you around in your community just as you go out for walks, and they could be following you at the Toronto Public Library. So I have had this room since just after 7 o'clock, and the time now is 7:46. When we get into our training courses, I want you to see how many times I'll pull up all the videos during the session that I had. I want you to tell me how many times. You know, when you have those cartoons and they say spot something that doesn't make sense, I want you to count how many times. Or they will say count how many things stand out as odd. I'd like you to count how many times you have seen the same person in my background eye line. Okay? And that is the first thing for your own mental health test. Okay? I am giving you your own introduction on how to start to be alert in your surroundings. The same things will happen if you are in the grocery store. Like, let's just say you go to the grocery store, all of a sudden you start seeing this person, and you go again another day, it's the person. Then you go from that grocery store to another store, and you return back to your area, you see this person again. You go to get coffee, you walk up to get the coffee, leave to get the coffee, you leave the coffee shop and you go towards where you're back to your residence, you see the person. You get to your residence, you go out to the park, you see the person along the park. And within one day, you've seen this person 3 to 5 times. Listen, if you're that lucky, play the lotto. Imagine how many times you'd win. Like, it's that obvious, okay? Sometimes this will happen as well where it might not be the same person, but the things are happening in a way that it could be almost the same person. It's like, say you go to the grocery store and somebody's always pushing their way into you. The next day, same thing. The next day, same thing. But these are different people. This is meant to aggravate you, get you frustrated. By the third person, by the time you go to the grocery store the third time, and look at this, like, how many times do you have to see this person in the background? Okay? If you're not realizing what I'm seeing, all right, the next thing is the deniability. And this is the reason why I do these videos. When I brought this to the government, the Liberal Party, the member of MP said, how do you stop somebody who won't admit what they're doing wrong? So these programs are being done to society and they don't want to admit what they're doing, which means if there's a mental health illness outbreak that they're claiming that there exists, how come? And this is why we at the Reset community, we advocate and we're pushing for people and our governments to be accountable to what are the causes of the mental health illnesses. Why is it happening? And that is why we have established the new mental health standards test. All right, because we have been able to conquer the, as what you are witnessing right now, just in this one video, of persistent antagonizing things. They're just so subtle you wouldn't believe it's happening. So I'm going to leave it there because I'm just so overwhelmed right now that, and I have been noticing little things happening leading up to this. I didn't want to talk about it, but the other day the same thing happened, and the guy would not leave the spot. That when I left, I had to say, and he followed me all the way up to the front. I had to ask him, so you got tired of the back, huh? He says. I go, because you were back there the whole time, and I was there for let him know how long, and he never left until I left and came up here. And the only thing he could do was laugh. So I'm going to leave it there. This is for the courses, though. For these videos, I won't get deeper into it, but for the courses and the workshops and those who participate, especially for businesses and employees, I will get more into detail about how this type of profiling and harassment happens that is very covert and could be denied, and how it's also hate crime oriented. So we'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. I'm Kat with the Kat brand in the Reset community. Visit me at letsresetnow.com. Bye for now. So in continuing this recording, I've just opened up after closing the previous video. What I was demonstrating to you, if you're paying attention, is how in the program, the overall name of it, I wouldn't know what to call it, but it's part of the gang stalking mechanisms. Not every gang stalker is a person that is your neighbor or family or a boss, and it does happen a lot in your workplace. What you're witnessing with this constant rotation view of the person in the background is a type of psychological entrainment to know that you're constantly being watched, to know that you're constantly being surveilled, and to know that here we are and we're constantly watching you. You would have noticed how many times you've seen this individual pass back and forth within a few minutes that I have just done those few videos within the short space of time that I'm using the space right now. This happens not just with those types of individuals, and this is being used in a public space. That person works for a company contracted by the city. So who is it that has given the instructions to have this kind of rotation beat, all right, to being the constant eye view of me? It's just constant, right? And it is a very big space, and there's not many people here. So what did we learn today from this video? It is clear that what was observed today, and it could not be labeled as delusional. The City of Toronto, you see, the public library, they have received letters already from me in regards to their targeted harassment and to cease and desist. This was earlier in the year. To see this incident take place just a few days ago within the public library is a clear indication that they have not stopped their illegal surveillance, that they are taking your taxpayer dollars to do this to everyday citizens who are innocent. If there's something that has been done that is an offense to them, I'd love to know what it is, why there's such a surveillance around every single day. We need you, the public, to step forward for your safety, to have the government to become transparent on the activities that they're doing to affect the livelihood of everyday Canadians as well as immigrants. If the government says they want to keep our city safe, well, we the citizens want to see that our government is safe for us. Thanks for watching this edition of the Reset News on behalf of the Reset community.